Hey folks, what's here? Welcome back to another Poem Master video, and as usual, let's get our daily discount summons in. I don't think we've gotten a 5-star in a while now, and there we go, we got a 5-star, folks. Can we get Serena, please? Can I get another copy of Serena? Serena, Serena, please, 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 please. Serena, 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 Serena. Also, I don't have the audio on, but Serena. Serena! Aw. Look at me, probably like the only other person in the world who's extremely unexcited to get red. I mean, I'll take the 5-star power up. I'll take the 5-star power up. There we go, there we go. Alright. Well, we got one. That's definitely nice. Definitely nice. Oh boy. Nothing here. Would have been nice to get a leaf dupe. Can we get a blue dupe? Blue dupe 4 to 5, please? 4 to 5? Aw, man. Of the counter trio, the only one I got was the one I didn't need. Well, that sucks. Oh well. I'll still take the 5-star power up. I'll still take that. I'm gonna go into Skyla, probably, if they don't give us free power-ups. Anyways, oh, the Daily Scout as well, let's see what we get here. But yeah, if you guys do enjoy today's video, the content, all that stuff, make sure to like and subscribe for more. There you go. That's me trying to advertise my channel to you guys. Alright, so today let's talk about the Champion Stadium. Unfortunately, since you can only attempt it once per week, I cannot personally go through the Champion Stadium, you know, with the sort of team comps that I have in mind to tell you guys, or give you guys some advice for those who are struggling, right? So we'll just have to talk about it. I can't really play it. I mean, I guess I could do normal, but you know, normal is very, very different from hard. Like the weaknesses are even different, right? Agatha's and normal is weak to like ground, and hard is like ghost, and then Lance is dragon versus ice, right? And also blue is different. I think blue is weak to like fire or something here, right? But yeah, if you guys do want to, you know, check out what teams I use, you can check the Hall of Fame part, and you can see over there, I guess. Nothing too special. Nothing too special, but yeah, let's talk about it. So, first of all, we do have to establish that this whole system, in terms of its rules and such, right? So, you have to, well, you don't have to. You can pick which order these Elite Fours you fight in. You know, Elite Four, not the champion. You have to fight the champion last. You pick the order of the Elite Four, and then you get certain rules for each one of them, right? So you do kind of have to, well, you don't have to, but it would be beneficial to go around, you know, and pick some of these rules that would more be more beneficial to you. Another thing to keep in mind is once you use a sync pair and beat one of these Elite Four stages, you will not be able to use it again until next week's refresh, right? This is a weekly thing. So do make sure don't just blow your, you know, overpowered whatever sync pairs that you have on the stages that you could clear with, you know, probably weaker sync pairs, so you could save the stronger ones for you know, the harder stages that you might have more trouble to clear with, right? So I don't think there's a reset button either, or a reset option. So yeah, that could be potentially an issue. So let's talk about some of these teams and some of these conditions. So let's talk about the order first, in the order where you know, in which you want to tackle these stages with, right? So the first round's special, you know, a thing, I guess, for the battle is that status conditions and other conditions deal more damage, last longer, and are more likely to take effect. So status conditions, there's a few ones that you might want to, you know, think about, right? If you are using, say, Sigsuit Leaf, then using it on Lorelei would be very effective. If, say, you know, you have trouble beating Bruno, and you know, Bruno does a lot of good physical damage, then you could maybe throw in a Torkoal or something to burn Bruno to decrease its physical damage, right? Agatha, if you really want, you could run Gengar and use Sleep, maybe. I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal though. And Lance, you could run Paralysis. But then again, most paralysis, the paralysis is permanent on them, right? And most paralysis are 100% you know, effective, so there really isn't you know, too much of a deal there. So probably going to be either Lorelei or Bruno, right? Again, depends on what you need and which one you're struggling a bit more with. Round 2 is at the start of battle, sync move countdowns are reduced by half. I'll not talk about, we'll come back to round 2 in a bit. Let's talk about round 3 first. Round 3 is all allied and opponents field of play start the battle with special damage reduction. The ones that really do like serious special damage is generally, Agatha's stage. Lorelei does some as well, so does Lance, but I would think it's probably best to save it for Agatha. And then for these two, round 2 and round 4, round 2 is, you get your sync move countdowns halved, and then round 4 is stats that, their sync move buff after you use a sync move are raised even more. So those two, you could use them on either one, really, right? It really depends on your team, which, if you have a team that really counts on getting your first sync move out fast, right? So, if you're running a striker that has a mega, that would be beneficial, right? Or if you're running some sync pair that does, something else after you use your first sync move, that would be helpful as well. And the other one is just generally good for everything, right? If maybe like, or generally just stages that you do have trouble surviving, you just don't do enough damage quick enough, right? You could use that, give you, double the sync move buff after you use your sync move, and then deal damage from there, right? So anyways, let's talk about teams. I'm actually just going to jump into normal since I can't go in there at all. So we'll talk about it in there. Just keep in mind, Attica weak to Ghost, Lance weak to Dragon, right? So as for this team, or this stage against Lorelei, you are going to be generally using a grass type striker. There are a lot of really, really good grass type damage healers in this game that you can choose from, right? There is one that I would not suggest, well, it's not grass type, I wouldn't suggest Ho-Oh. Ho is very, very good grass type damage healer. They do sometimes use AoE, water type moves, being Surf, right? Which Ho is weak to. At least I think they do, right? If I remember correctly, yeah. You probably don't want to use Ho-Oh, and Ho-Oh's defenses aren't the greatest either here. Again, Ho, very, very good unit, and probably not the best here, right? As for your damage healers, there's a few that you generally would want to go ahead and use, right? Sceptile being one, Mega Venusaur being one, Rosary being one, and Vileplume is the other. These two are probably your best bets. Again, depends on what you have. The best one here is Mega Venusaur. If you don't have that, either Sceptile or Roserade are fine. And if you don't have either any of those, then Vileplume is a suitable option as well. Vileplume, you could go ahead and go into its sync grid, pick up, Paralysis Synergy, Confusion Synergy, energy Ball on a roll, and you could do a lot of damage while also being very, very tanky as well. Venusaur, just go in and just destroy stuff with Frenzy Plant after you Mega, and then these two are pretty, standard in terms of how you use them, right? As for, what supports you kind of want to use here, again, depends on how difficult you find this. If you find this very difficult, then you probably might want to use, because I do know some people who do find this stage the most difficult, right? If you find this the most difficult, then you just bring Swanna in, right? Swanna just whatever stage is most difficult, you just throw in Swanna, and that should help you a lot over there. So as for, in terms of supports, if you are running Mega Venusaur, you do need something that could give you special attack and crit, stuff like, Sabrina obviously is the best in the game at that. Rosa wouldn't be too terrible either, also gives you the extra type skill buff if you want to run that. Dawn, is Dawn weak to ice? Oh, weak to bug. Oh, never mind. Dawn could be fine here too, except again, Dawn's not that great physical or special defensively, but she's she's still fine there. As for like some other supports for Brandon and Gardenia, right? Just since they generally do have all the buffs that they really need on themselves already, right? You don't really have to worry about any offensive buffs. Just make sure your team defensively can take enough hits. Again, just throw in some kind of tank, Skyla if you're desperate, right? Some other decent special tanks like Rotom, Blastoise. That's a great not the not the trainer's Blastoise, Singsu Blues Blastoise, right? And some other some stuff like Milotic would help. Starmie would be very, very good there, right? Vileplume is fine again as well. Meganium should be fine. Sabrina is very, very good defensively as a tank, but I'd probably save Sabrina for like some other stages that you are more struggling with, that you need offensive supports for, right? So something like that should do you good in this stage. So moving on, let's talk about Bruno Stage. Bruno Stage, I know some people do have some trouble with, just because Bruno Stage, it is weak to water, right? And the water units in this game are generally decent, but some of them are kind of hard to use, right? So in terms of water units, we have, again, a plethora of very, very powerful water strikers. Stuff like Sharpedo, Cyrus, they're both very, very good. Barry's fine. Milotic is fine for doing damage as well as water striker. Even Starmie, if you have her at 3 out of 5. Chris is fine, right? Even Seabat, I guess, although he's probably not the best here. Crasher Week is still good. Just like, there's just so many options that you could do. So really, depends on what you have. Against Cyrus, Sharpedo, these are probably like the better ones over here. Also Barry, probably, if you have Barry 3 out of 5, right? So for these, if you are, looking for damage, if you really need damage quick here, you could also, alongside your striker, considering bringing where is she? You could also consider bringing Pelipper, right? Pelipper for Rain Dance, extra 50% damage for your striker when they use a water type move, so that definitely helps as well. Defensively, this stage could be slightly problematic, but there are a lot of really good physically defensive tanks in the game that you could go for, right? Like Brock and Onyx is very good. Also gives you Potion. If you're using a physical water type striker, you also do Defense Crush on Rock Throw to decrease their defenses, and you could also Rock Tomb to slow them down a bit as well. He also gets defense buffs here. Obviously, Singsu Blue is just, you could throw him in like any stage as a tank, right? Because both physically and especially he's very good there. So some other decent options. Torkoal Flannery is a very good one. You can increase your defenses over here with already really good defenses. I know you can also burn the opponent. That could decrease their physical attack damage against you as well. So again, decent options here in terms of Bruno that you could pick up. Dawn, obviously Steelix. Dawn and Steelix, very good physical defensive tanks. So yeah, you got a lot of options here in terms of tanks against Bruno, because again, Bruno mostly uses, there are some special attacks, right? But mostly it's going to be physical attacks, and physical tanks in this game are just generally, you just have more physical tank options than special tanks, right? So going back to strikers a bit, again, it just really depends on what you have. If you really don't have any of these, you could just go with Cyrus. Cyrus is fine, right? Does have Hydro Pump. You probably would want an accuracy buffer if you are running Cyrus, right? If you run Cyrus and you have Sabrina, run these two together. These two together are very powerful. Cyrus, you could use your trainer move once to get +3 special attack and speed, and then Sabrina, you get just 6 Sense, heal Cyrus up, and then give the other +3 special attack as well as some accuracy as well for Hydro Pump. If it ever gets low again, you get 6 Sense again, so your Hydro Pump doesn't miss as much, right? And also give crit for Cyrus, because if Cyrus does not get crit, Cyrus is basically useless here, because Cyrus's damage is very bad without crit. So if you're running Cyrus, you have to give Cyrus crit support no matter what. So that's Cyrus, I guess. Moving on or not Cyrus, Bruno. Moving on to some other units over here. We got or not units, the stages. We got Agatha, which is weak to Ghost, right? Not Ground. Ground is normal. Unless you're having troubles with normal for some reason. But Ghost, if you guys have Mewtwo, Mewtwo is very good as a free-to-play option here. I don't know why I picked Psychic instead of Ghost. Mewtwo is very good free-to-play option here. All you need to give her is special attack. If you have, again, still have Sabrina, not use Sabrina, but if you got some other stuff like Rotom or Rosa, right, you could use them over here, so you could save Sabrina for later. Another really sneakily good option here, honestly, is if you guys have Blissey, right? Blissey, again, Agatha uses a lot of special attack, has very, very good special defenses, and 800 HP, right? If you don't have to worry too much about physical attacks, because, you know, Blissey can't really take too many physical attacks, you throw Blissey out there, Blissey can tank hits, and give you X special attack, all which, again, Mewtwo would need, right? And you also have heals as well, and then you could also raise defenses, which is also good for Mewtwo, because Mewtwo cannot take a hit, unfortunately. If you don't dodge a hit, Mewtwo is in trouble. But if you don't have Mewtwo, you know, which I know some people don't, you have other options. Other options being not Acerola. Acerola doesn't do much damage. If you have Driftblim or Miss Magus, both do very, very good damage here. Again, Miss Magus, you do need a crit support. I mean, you don't have to, but I just don't like how you have to like waste this move gauge thing just to get crit. But again, you don't have to. But, you know, something like a Torchic plus Miss Magus would work out very, very well here against them. As for Driftblim, just make sure you get your Phantom Force MP refreshes. I guess there's nothing much to talk about with Driftblim. It should be fine. Chantel should work as well. Chantel and even Gengar, honestly. If you really just need something to do damage, like Gengar, once you Mega it, it has like 400 special attack. or over 400 if you know, I mean, it's over 400 at 4 stars as well, anyways. So yeah, very, very good special attack. You can just Shadow Ball the opponent. You just need something to buff both its crit and special attack. So if you're struggling with Agatha, maybe you could use Sabrina here and then buff Gengar. You could also use Run Along now. And you could also heal Agatha so she gets +6 speed, and you could heal her up and give her +3 +6 attack, special attack and crit as well. So that's a very, very good combo here. So yeah, that's, I guess, all we have to talk about with Agatha. Again, same stuff in terms of, you know, tanks, right? Just one of those special tanks. Just, you know, make sure they're not weak to Ghost, and it should be fine. As for Lance is probably the easiest, just because there's so many strong Ghost type options, right? Obviously you have Lance himself, or Sing Suit Cynthia. They should, you know, obliterate this stage easily. Iris should obliterate the stage. Clear should destroy the stage. Like, all these like Dragon type units, like even Zinnia should do decent against this stage, right? It just depends on, again, what supports you use. Lance and Sabrina, one of the best combos, you know, best fitting combos in the game. Works just so well. Kamo, you don't really need any offensive supports. Maybe get someone with crit would be nice. But other than that, just bring mostly tanks, so you don't die, I guess. Cynthia would also work very, very well with the round 4 buff, right? Just because she's got so many buffs. Iris Hacktress, obviously, you do need Leverage the Confusion on her and grid her with Confusion Boon, right, for her to work. Kingdra, you might want Dauntless on her, and also Paralysis Energy and all that stuff for Draco Meteor as well. Maybe if you want, you could throw her in a Rain team, but again, I don't think it's necessary. It's probably overkill. And same thing with Palkia. Haven't used Palkia against Bruno yet. So again, there are some things that you do have to take into consideration when you know, building your team. Right? If, for example, Palkia, this is a good example. Do you want to use Palkia against Bruno, or do you want to use Palkia against Lance? Generally, I'd say you probably want to use Palkia against Bruno, just because there's just so many better, as a free-to-play player, right? There's just so many better Dragon-type free-to-play options than Cyrus, right? I mean, I think both Claire and Iris are just generally better than Palkia as a Dragon-type striker, so you probably want to just use Palkia for Bruno, and then use either Claire or Iris for Lance, right? And then once you go on to Blue is incredibly easy. The actual Blue is weak to fire, right? Because it's weak to fire. There's so many incredibly strong fire type synchros. Hey, look, this team would work. The one I just have here out here. This total coincidence. But yeah, fire type strikers got a lot of really good ones. Or just damage dealers in general, right? Singsu Red's a decent one. I mean, they're all good. Even Ethan should probably be able to beat Blue's, just probably the easiest of all of them. I mean, fired Torkoal, Hilda, Serena, Red, Infernape even. yeah, just, you know, just build teams in accord. I don't really need to talk too much about this. If you guys do want to, you know, learn more about team building more in depth, I did upload a video yesterday detailing more, you know, about team building in general. So yeah, just follow that, put whatever supports you need, whatever tanks you need, and blue should be a piece of cake, honestly, right? If you want to go for overkill, bring like Ho-Oh or Blaine Rapidash for the Sun, and yeah, that's just completely overkill. So anyways, that's me with this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know, guys, in the comments down below. One more thing, if you guys are trying to go for the metal thing, right? It's in hard. You do have to use all 18 types. So, you know, that's on average 9 types per week. So that's also something to keep in mind as well if you want to get that metal by next week. But again, no hurries here. So again, hope you guys enjoyed it. Good luck in your battles, and I'll see you guys in the next one.